How are you different now that you do have a child?
How much different is it?
Yeah, has it improved you as a person, maturity wise?
Definitely, and I am immature, I must admit. But it does, when you have that constant, it's just always in the back of your head, like you aren't living for yourself anymore. It changes the way that I think about things, decisions that I make, and I really have to weigh pros and cons of situations, knowing that other people are depending on me. So it's definitely a motivator on and off the field. And I've been working as hard as I can, and luckily I have a lot of energy. So
Switching over to football, your final year already. Can you believe you're a senior?
no, well sometimes I'm like, wow, I feel like I've been playing this game my whole life, which is true when I think about it. But then at the same time, I see myself like as a freshman, and it seems like just yesterday you're walking on. And everyone says that, like all the seniors are like, yeah, like enjoy this, because I remember when I was a freshman, and it's true because it goes by so fast. The seasons seem to last a long time, but then you look back and it's like, wow, it seemed like a couple days, and that's about to happen now. Like as soon as camp starts, it's January, and you're like, wow, what happened?
Yeah. And football for you it's really in the family. Obviously, your brother down in Miami has a chance to start for them. You guys staying in touch throughout training camp?
Yeah,
You giving him any advice?
Yeah. I try to give him some advice, and I try not to get in his head too much because he knows what he's doing. He's extremely smart and talented, and it's cool to be able to see him really excel, because I remember just beating him up his whole childhood, and like he's a really tough kid now, and I think that I could still beat him up. But as far as just an overall person, one of the best people that I've ever been around, and I love him to death for sure. I hope he can pull it out this year, but so he has a few more years, so I hope he can do it this year. But he's got a great head on his shoulders, and maybe we could play them or something. That would be the ultimate.
End of year bowl game.
Yeah,
that'd be
that would
nice.
just between he and I.
Yeah.
Like
How was the process for you in the spring? Obviously, learning a new system, played very well in the spring game. Showed what you can do. Were you satisfied with where you ended up after the spring and how you performed?
Definitely not satisfied. I look back at the spring, and I like to see some practices that I could have definitely done better. And I'm happy that this spring game went well. But as far as the overall spring, I would have liked to perform better. But I do look at it like, well, I did learn a lot, and I learned a lot about the offense and just how everybody interacts in the offense, and my weaknesses that I need to improve on. And it's very humbling sometimes, because you can go in and everyone's completely honest with you, and that helps a ton. So I'm just excited to get back practicing, to be honest with you.
What were some of the things you needed to work on?
So, not to get too far X's and O's, but there were certain things in my mechanics and what I had been practicing that didn't suit me well, and I just needed. Really, it's easy. You listen to your coaching, and everything else falls into place. So, just being able to process what you're being coached and then apply it to the field. It sounds very simplistic, but sometimes you might put up like mental blocks. But if you can just do what your coaches are asking, that's really all you need to do. So my biggest thing would be that, and there are certainly specific categories that are included in that, but not to get into X's and O's. Those are boring.
Hey, if you want to, I mean.
No, it's okay.
You've always seemed more comfortable in an up-tempo type of game. You seem to perform better as well. Are you more comfortable in this type of offense than what you had last year?
Absolutely, yeah. Felt more comfortable every time we were down, losing, or time was running out because we were out huddling and going fast. I think that's evident. I think we were relatively good offense in those scenarios. And not to get backwards.
Yeah.
No, I do think that's the case. I was telling somebody earlier, if I had like a year to study and create an offense, just dedicate all my time to creating an offense, I think that I would end up putting together an offense like this. I would consult with people, but like this is what I would like out of all offenses.
Future and coaching.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's an awesome profession. But.
When I see you play, especially in pressure situations, game on the line, at Missouri, you marched the team down, got in scoring position. Navy, same thing. Do you feel you perform better in those type of moments? I mean, there haven't been a lot of them, but when the ball's been in your hands, need a drive, it seems you get it done.
Yeah, I mean, that is a tough question to answer because I've been fortunate enough to have teammates around me that have helped me out in those situations.
But does it slow down? Because you see people crack.
It's very strange. Going back, I mean, I'm sure you could find, I can't think of like any right now. I'm sure you could find instances where I folded. Didn't play well. There are plenty of those. But I remember even just when I first started playing football, I always wanted it to be like the 2 minute or like the end of the game. So maybe that's just something that's accumulated over time that I've really enjoyed the pressure situation. But who knows? But I don't think of it any differently really. But if you're like, we have to score. Like, you gotta score. That's how it should be every time. But you're like, this is our only shot. And in those instances you brought up, like people made plays that it definitely wasn't made. Like people were blocking, people were making catches and running routes.
Does that speak to your leadership? Just getting things done when you need to.
I could definitely work on my leadership, but that is definitely a part of leadership. But it all comes down to the team, and it takes maturity to realize that as you play. But everybody's got to have the same belief, and as soon as you lose that, you have no chance. And we all believe. We all believe. Yeah, everyone's really excited, and everything that I hear is very optimistic and genuine excitement and joy for just being able to play. Some guys might be tired, but that's part of it. That's part of football. We haven't even started camp yet, so I don't know why people would be tired. I'm talking about like summer conditions.
And then last question. What do you need to do to win the job? Have you had those conversations with your coaches, and do you feel you understand where you need to?
So I was watching a show the other night, The Defiant Ones, and I think it's Jimmy. He was like, you just have to put your blinders on. You can't get caught up in all that. All I can focus on is trying to be the best football player I can be for the team, for the guys around me. You can't think about anything else. It's easy to get caught into like comparing yourself to other people, like whether it be in the classroom, like job you have, just looking around, like, oh, he's doing this. Like, it's easy to look on social media at what everyone else is doing. But like, if you can just sit down and focus on the task at hand, then if it doesn't go your way, at least you know that you put everything you had into it. And if it does go your way, that's great too. But as far as, I don't even think of it like winning the job, to be honest with you. I mean, I want the team to win. And the coaches are going to be the judge of how the team's going to win most efficiently. So I'm riding and believing in Coach Etzel and the entire staff. Coach Lashley, just everything we're putting together, everyone should be that way too. And that's how we'll win games.